אוקיי. בעזרת השם. ובפסוק י"א, פרק י"ח. מגדל עוז, no, we did that. הון עשיר כראיית עוזו. The wealth of the rich man, yes, it's his fortress, it's his safety hub. וכחומה נשגבה, like a very tall, very high fence, like a mirror. במסכיתו, כן? In its, and we make, like, mesquite is beautiful, if you will. חשוב. אבן mesquite, like a beautiful stone. Says the Gaon the following. There are two types of Yetzer Hara. One Yetzer Hara that is outside, that's called Mibachutz, and one that is called Mibifnim, that is inside. The Yetzer Hara that is outside, Dainu, is the world. What a person has to face, the world and everything the world has to offer. So says the Gaon, in what, like he gives us a circumstance, when a person is Oved Hashem, is growing, is elevating himself in Torah, he becomes the joke of the people around him. That saw him different. You became religious now. Suddenly you wear tefillin. Suddenly you wear kippah. You pray mincha. Since when you pray mincha? Yes, all these comments that can be hurting a person. That's through the Yetzer Hara of Bachutz. And says the Gaon, this is what the Torah refers to when HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Cain, La petach chatat rovetz. The Yetzer Hara is sitting at the door, waiting. Yes, meaning it's all the challenges a person is facing when he is interacting with the world. For that reason, says the Gaon, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a protection that's called the mezuzah. Says the Gaon, when you leave the mezuzah, when you leave your house and you get out, yes, you have this protection. Okay? So the mezuzah protects you inside, but also protects you mainly from outside in influence. This is why, right, there is a minhag to say when a person leaves his house, yes, to go to shul, yes, he says, Shaddai yatzileni miyetzer hara mikol chet, mikol lashon hara, וכעס, ומידות רעות, מכל צרה יחלץ. אני בעוניו, כדכתיב והיה שדי בצערך. Right? In the pasuk והיה שדי בצערך, you have והיה, which is יוד כו' you have שדי, which is שם שגיא, right? So והיה, that's יוד כו' that's בפנים. שגיא is outside. בצערך, right? Then you have the פנימיות of the Shem Shagai, right? Meaning the pnimiut, the inner name, the hidden name of the Shem Shagai, right? Is what?
שומר דלתות ישראל.
Ken. No, that's no trikon. But look at this. Like if Shagai, Ken, what is the meaning? Mechila. The pnim, the house, inside the house is Havaya. The Shmira for outside, okay, is Shagai. The panim, the face of Shagai, yes, the face of Shagai, meaning, what is the face? Take the letters past Shagai. Shin is Taf, Dalet is He, and Yuf is Chaf. Is the Shem HaKadosh kaf and he and taf. כל הנשמה תהלליה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, כף ה' הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות, ספי תיבות, לך כף, נאה ה' להודות תף. That's one of the Shemot HaKodesh that are used to protect from all negative things and all the bad that there is. So that's the minhag to say when you leave the house with your tefillin on, right, to be protected. So, but says the Gaon, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the mezuzot, yes, and the mezuzah at the Petach HaBayit, in order to protect men from the Yetzer Hara shebachutz. The Yetzer Hara that's outside. But that's only what it does. So the segula of the mezuzah is very limited. Yes, if you have the right kavanah, it will protect you from the Yetzer Hara of the world, but not from the Yetzer Hara from inside. Says the Gaon, comes Shlomo HaMelech and tells us like this. Who is Hon Ashir, the wealth of the Ashir, the wealth of the rich? What is considered wealth? Is the Torah Kedosha. So the wealth of the Ashir, the Torah of the Ashir, somebody that is rich in Torah, his wealth, which is the Torah itself, it's called Kiryat Uzo, right? Kiryat Uzo, meaning what? It's a fortress, right? It's a protection. And what does a protection protect you from? Outside, right? So the Torah itself protects you from the Yetzer Hara that is outside. Meaning he doesn't care, says the Gan. When the person learns Torah, he enjoys it so much and he gains so much that he couldn't care less what people have to say about him. That's the power of the Torah Kedusha. Something the mitzvah might not have. Because we said that what the mitzvah, you can do things, but you're exposed to the laughter and the abuse of people around because you do an action. But when you learn the Torah, that changes you completely. It's not just an action; it changes you from within. Yes. So now the Torah itself is a protection that you don't care at all if somebody would say anything. And that's why it's called Uzo. Okay? Kiryat Uzo. Yes, it's the place of his strength. Ubemaskito, yes, says the Gaon, that's referring to the Yetzer Hara shebifnim, to the inner Yetzer Hara. הוא כחומה נסגרה, it's like a very tall fence. So says the Gaon Lemase, like this, that when you get out of the house, you have a shmirah to be protected outside, that's the mezuzah. But that's it, that's the Yetzer Hara outside. When you learn Torah, you're protected from the Yetzer Hara outside, and you're also protected from the Yetzer Hara which is inside, which is within the person. That's the difference between the two. Okay? Very straightforward. Any question on this pasuk? No. Pasuk Yud. לפני שבר יגבה לב איש. Before a breaking, before destruction, the heart of the man is rose, meaning, yeah, the person has ga'ava. ולפני כבוד ענווה. And before kavod comes, there's always anava. Yeah, so before destruction, there's ga'ava, there's ego. And before kavod, there's anava, there's humility. The Gaon says something very interesting. He says, Mistama. It is, we can take for granted. Yes, for granted. No, it is obvious that if there's a shever, if there is a ruin, if there is a destruction, tehila gavut lev. Haytalo tehila. It's because he had in the beginning ga'ava. Rabbi David Elaluf Yizacher Letov taught us here. He said anything that starts with ga'ava will end up a destruction. Any business you do, any venture you do, any endeavors you start that starts with ego will end up to become a ruin. That's the yesod of the Gaon, which is a tremendous hidush and a very important lesson. Because milechatchila, in the foundation and in the inception of your work, there's already a midah, yes, that goes against Akadosh Baruch Hu and against the purpose of creation. So how can a foundation that goes against creation last? It's not possible. Even if you forget about the Gava afterwards, the fact that he was created and he was started with ego, the end result will be destruction. אין מה לעשות שם. נפל היסוד, נפל הבניין, says the Ramban. When the foundation cracks and falls, the building automatically collapses. Another hidush that the Gaon brings is that we're learning from this pasuk. What does it mean? Lifnei shever yigba lev ish. Yigba can rise, right? The heart will rise. So the Gaon wants to read it. Yigba Akadosh Baruch Hu will make the heart of the man rise. What does that mean? When Akadosh Baruch Hu wants to punish someone, what does he do? And he does that. Why does Akadosh Baruch Hu want to punish this person? Because Akadosh Baruch Hu wants to be Mekadesh Shem Shamayim on all the Hilul Hashem that person did. So Akadosh Baruch Hu, two things can happen. Or Akadosh Baruch Hu will elevate the person, will make the person successful, grow. So that the Nefilah, when Akadosh Baruch Hu drops, yeah, the bomb, the shever is so big that everybody's talking about it. And all this for people to learn a lesson. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be Mekadesh his name through that. And also, because the pain of the falling is greater because he falls from very high. Yes? It's different when somebody falls from the 100th floor and if he falls from a second floor. He brings an example. Haman HaRasha. Kadosh Baruch Hu made him grow, rise. And then boom, HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought the Gezerah and made him fall. And the whole world spoke about the Nefilah of Haman HaRasha. And we speak about it until today. Another way HaKadosh Baruch Hu can punish is if the person doesn't have the Ga'ava, but for whatever reason he did Hilul Hashem, he needs to be punished. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu will first trigger the Ga'ava of the person. Meaning he will bring the person reasons for him to feel important and to feel to express his egocentrism. He will set up situation. What do you mean? It's me. It's me. Did you see? I did. It's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu sets all this up, so that he can expose himself. Now, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows that he will expose himself, obviously. So now he's going to expose himself for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to now humiliate the person with a failure at the end. He says this is lifnei shever, before the breaking of the ish. Ish, we know that what? Ish is the title of man that is great. We said, nachon? So it says when the person thinks he's a ish, and he's presenting himself as a ish, lifnei shever ish, before that ish, that is in the eyes of people ish, and in his own eyes is a ish. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yigbah libo. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will, make his heart go up, will elevate his heart, will give him the good reasons to have ga'ava, in order to make him collapse. Yes? That's the first part of the pasuk. ולפני כבוד ענווה, says that's very clear. Says there's another rule of thumb, like the Gemara says in Masechet Eruvin, כל המשפיל עצמו, הקדוש ברוך הוא מגביר. Whoever make himself anav and put himself down, HaKadosh Baruch Hu rises him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu elevates him. Yes? So, ולפני כבוד, ענווה. The more anava you have, and the more HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to elevate you. Yes, so the more the more humble you are, and the more HaKadosh Baruch Hu will want to push you forward. Why does HaKadosh Baruch Hu pushes you forward? Because if you're humble, you're expressing the midato shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay? You're expressing HaKadosh Baruch Hu's values. And now you become an ambassador of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You become a representative. Yes? So HaKadosh Baruch Hu needs to give you shlichut. So he will put you in situations that will make you gain the kavod from the kahal, even though you don't want it. By default, because you become a shaliach ne'eman. Yes? And if you're a shaliach ne'eman, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you shlichut. He'll give you shlichut, you're going to do the shlichut. And that will lead to kavod. But that's already a kavod that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu triggers, not a kavod that you demand. That's the Likutei Moharan refers to these two types of kavod as kavod melachim and kavod eloki. The respect of the melech versus the respect of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The respect of the melech, that the melech is being respected. Why? Because of his title. He's the melech. Yes? And people fear the melech, so people respect the melech. And then you have kavod eloki, which is the kavod that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives himself to the person by rising of the person without any title. Not for any title, but for who he is. And that is the difference between the two, is that the kavod melachim is imposed, where kavod eloki is embraced. Everybody wants to give him kavod. They enjoy. They are pleased. It's their satisfaction to give them kavod. Okay? Any question on that pasuk?
Psukim.
You broke up.
I think
What did you say?
once the kavod in part of the psukim,
You're breaking up.
The kavod which comes.
Again?
You hear me now?
Yes.
You hear me now? Of both parts of the pasuk.
I didn't hear. Mechila. You try again.
Okay.
Try again. We said there's a יצר הרע מבחוץ and יצר הרע מבפנים. That's the יצר הרע מבחוץ.
You hear me?
Yes.
Rabbi, you hear me?
Yes.
So we talk about the connection of both parts of the pasuk, where once the kavod comes, can potentially lead to the gava later. I don't think it's
Yes.
for no reason that
Yes.
Shlomo Melech put both
Yes.
of these parts, put both of
ודאי.
these things together in one part.
ודאי. ודאי. Absolutely. Meaning, you're asking a good question. You're saying at the end, both of the individuals are getting the kavod, right? So how do you know if it's the kavod that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives you or it's a setup? That's your question. Yes, very good. The answer is, are you running after that kavod and you're taking it besimcha, or you don't want it? You're focused on your anava, and it's coming and it's being pushed on you. That's the difference. You know the person that he runs away from the kavod, but turns back to see if the kavod runs after him. That's the setup. That's the setup. ואתה מכיר את מרת נפשו. A person knows if he's egocentric and he just needs, you have people that they try very hard to be anav, just so that they can hide their ego and get kavod for being anav. You know, I said a few times what Rabbi Avraham Mohana taught me once. He said the most difficult midah the most difficult midah to acquire is anava. Why? Because you're going to work on anava until you get it. Once you're anava, you're very proud to be anav. So you never get there. You never get there. Yeah. So the anava, you don't work it frontally. And the anava, you develop it by being nichve kelim. Yes. Like Moshe Rabbeinu. Yeah. By doing what HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what is expected from you and not expecting anything in return from nobody. And whatever comes. It's painful. It's very difficult. When you sacrifice yourself, your time, your life, your resources, and you expect something in return. Yes? To work and not and get to a place where you cannot expect anything and you cannot feel bad for not getting anything in return. Yeah? That's breaking your ego. That's how you break your ego. And that's how you develop the anava. But absolutely, they're both connected. And that's the point. It's good that you raised it, Brian. The point is, how do I know if a success story that I'm in is a setup for failure down the road, or it's really a Kadosh Baruch Hu blessing me with responsibility that he wants me to get? The answer is, look at your behavior. Yes, if you're enjoying the ride and it makes you rise and you want more of it and you desire it, then it's probably a setup from HaKadosh Baruch Hu or the Yetzer Hara. Yes, but if the opposite, it's a burden on you. Yes, and you don't want that recognition, and you don't want that position. And אבל מה לעשות? What can I do? HaKadosh Baruch Hu גזר עליי, the tzibur asked me to do something. I don't want to be in the highlights. I don't want my name. I don't want it. I just don't want it. I mean, what do? But HaKadosh Baruch Hu put you there. It's your obligation now. Yes. So you do it. You're going to do it in a way that you're the most humble possible, and and you get the least recognition possible. Yes. That's called anava. And when this is the behavior, Akadosh Baruch Hu pushes the person forward because this is a good shaliach. Look, he doesn't pray because so that people say, look how he prays. He doesn't learn so that the people say, wow, look at he learns. He doesn't speak so that people say he's smart. He doesn't show off his money so that people can say he's rich. He does it because that's what he has to do. So you become now an ambassador. You can become shaliach ne'eman of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Hakadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, you're representing my midah of anava, right? So I'm going to make sure that I can give you more responsibilities, and those responsibilities comes with the kavod, and that's called kavod eloki, the divine kavod, versus the kavod melachim, which is a kavod from royalty, which comes out of status, yes, and system that's implied. Please. Good. Pasuk Yud Gimel. Meshiv davar beterem yishma. Whoever answers before he even hears what the other person has to say. Ivelet hilo uklima. It's a foolish behavior and is disgraceful. Now, I'm going to tell you that this is a lesson that I learned from my grandfather when I was also bar mitzvah. Yeah, he told me two things. He told me you speak too much, you have to speak less, and stop telling people what you know before you even heard them. Because I was always very quick. This is what you mean. This is what you mean. Says the Gaon here. I don't know if I've listened to that Eitzah, but it's still stuck here. I still have to work on it. Yes, but the Gaon is exposing probably my flaws personally, among so many that that have been exposed anyways. He says this pasuk Yud Gimel comes to follow the end of the pasuk that was before. It means it's a continuation of Velifne Kavod Anava. So if you have Anava, then the Kavod comes. But how do you know if you're working on your Anava? How do you know if a person is Anav or not? It's like one of the ways to know is Meshiv Davar B'terem Ishma. If you see somebody that jumps in a conversation when you start talking and already he wants to complete what you have to say, that's because he has Ga'ava. And therefore he's so egocentric that he wants to show off that he knows, and he can say what you want to say before you even said it. The outcome of such an individual, such a behavior, is foolishness, but it's also klima, is disgrace. Why? Because you may be right sometimes, but sometimes you'll be off, you'll be wrong. And you're going to say something that was never really meant to be said. Yes? But the person's already said it and he wanted to show off. So what happens is that now the person exposed himself, he exposed his foolishness, and now he's looked at like a clown. So says the Gaon, that's what he says, Ivelet Hilo. Says the Gaon, if you want to know if a person has Ga'ava or not, or if you want to know if you have Ga'ava or not, yes, see the behavior of the person in a conversation. Now, obviously, if the person knows, yes. But when you have a person that wants to complete all the time and jump in all the time, and doesn't let the other person finish his thoughts and his idea, or and he's trying. What is he trying to do? He's trying to replace the person and his position. Right? What would someone try to complete somebody else's words or sentence? He wants to take his place. Uh-huh. He basically is saying, I can be you. That means what? That here there's only me. If I am myself and I want to be you, there's only me. There's no you. That's Ga'ava. Ga'ava is when you don't give room to the other person to exist in your life. When there's only you and nobody else. Any question on that pasuk? Yeah, we're good. Okay, we have time to do one more pasuk. Okay, one more. You're all punished for yesterday. I'm joking. Pasuk Yudalet. Ruach ish, the spirit of man, yechalkel mahalehu, will mechalkel, it will sustain, will keep him going during his sickness. Or mechalkel machale, we're going to see another hidush in that. Veruach nechea mi yisaena. But a low spirit, a low ruach, who can carry it? Who can deal with it? Nobody wants to deal with a person that is always low, that is always negative. So says the Gaon like this. We did speak, if you recall, in Parek Tedvav, about Nachat Ruach. You remember that? The Nachat Ruach? That when you have an idea, it awakes the Ruach comes down, and the Ruach will push the person until it applies and it does what it was brought down for. Remember that? By the way, at the end of Pasuk Tedvav, we also have Velifne Kavod Anava, right? If you recall. But anyways, okay. So says the Gaon. Lev sameach hitav yetiv panim. A good heart is expressed in his face. Remember that? If you have a happy heart, then you shine. It shines on your face. And that's why, because you bring when you're sameach, because so what was the mechanism? You're excited to do a mitzvah, you're happy to do a mitzvah, or you're about to do a mitzvah. So by thinking about it, you bring a ruach. That ruach stimulates the body and is infused with simcha because you're happy to do the mitzvah. So it makes you happy and it shines on your face. That's what we've learned in Perek Tedvav, Pasuk Yud Gimel. In Pasuk Yud Dalet, in Perek Yud Chet, says the Gaon, as a continuation to that yesod, that the simcha comes from the ruach. Okay, that's ruach ish. He says when a person is a ish, as a ruach ish, meaning when a person is a ish, meaning is ish is the high level terminology of men, right? It's the highest terminology of men. Moshe ish Elokim. Yes. When the ish has a ruach, meaning he has the ruach in him, meaning he has simcha in him, he has the ruach that brings simcha from the mitzvot. Says Shlomo HaMelech, Yechalkel Mahalehu. The Gaon, he says an amazing hidush. If chaz v'chalila, chaz v'shalom, the person has a mahala, besimchato yevatelena. With the power of the simcha of the ruach, he can cure himself. Here the Gaon, based on Shlomo HaMelech, just gave a segula of refuah shelema to any mahala. If the person can infuse himself with the desire and the happiness of being able to do a mitzvah, which will bring within him a ruach, a divine spirit, to do that mitzvah, which is itself based on simcha, that koach ha-simcha, that power of simcha, and that ruach that's within him will be a source of cure for his body. That's the hidush of the Gaon.
Rabbi, will be a source of pure tahara.
What do you mean pure tahara?
I didn't hear what you said. It will be a source of pure.
Of refuah.
Oh, refuah. Okay, thank you. Rabbi,
Yes.
another question. The Ish, is it related to the Ish who Yaakov met in his Chalom that fought him and took the Gidam?
No. Ish hakavana. Ish, like Moshe Ish Elokim, is the definition of, there's four titles to address men. The highest, I mean, when you want to give the highest prize to an individual, yes, you're going to call him Ish. Moshe Ish Elokim. Ken? So the Rambam himself says that simcha is a cure. That's the Rambam brings it. The person that isn't happy, okay, the happiness can help cure himself. Rabbeinu Yonah also says the same thing. That when you're merapeh the nefesh, meaning when you make your nefesh healthy, says Rabbeinu Yonah, automatically you make your body healthy. If your nefesh is sad or if your nefesh is hurting, then your body is hurting also.
The only way to merapeh the nefesh is with simcha.
Merapeh et nefesh al tikkun hamidot, according to Rabbeinu Yonah. But that brings a person to simcha.
But according to Shlomo Melech and the Gaon, it's simcha.
Ken. And that's the Nefesh HaChaim also. Well, Nefesh HaChaim is a student of the Gra, so the Nefesh HaChaim says also Mefurash that the Ruach of the Ruach Memalela, the Ruach HaDibur that the man has is the Koach HaNeshama, yes, Ruach Memalela is the Neshama, and that Ruach, that's the Ruach he's talking about here. Okay? Okay? Ruach Ish is referring to the Ruach Memalela. And what is Ruach Memalela? Ze Neshama. Okay. Says the Nefesh HaChaim, al yedei koach hadibur, when the person is, that's a step further that the Nefesh HaChaim takes it from the Gaon, says by talking well and by talking divrei simcha and speaking words of happiness and of positivity, yes, that's how you infuse your body with the Ruach. You empower the Ruach Memalela, right? Which has been turned on with divrei simcha and divrei devarim tovim, which has a direct impact on your body to cure the body and push away the sickness from out of the body. However, ruach necha, but when there's itzavon, when there's sadness, depression, negativity, says the Gaon, mi yisa'ena. Who can carry such a nefesh? Meaning nobody can carry it. You can. It's going to end up collapsing the individual. Meaning even the body cannot carry such a nefesh. So the nefesh goes down and it makes the body collapse.
Direct correlation.
Yes.
The goof,
Yes.
the goof, the nefesh, and the simcha.
Nachon.
And no simcha causes the opposite. Not necessarily itzavon. Like if a person is not necessarily sad but not happy, it's still going to cause the same outcome as etzev. Does it gradually lead to?
Well, I think that that's a good point that you're raising. I don't. I mean, I think that a person is always fluctuating from on that spectrum, yes, of being happy and happy, being happy and happy. I don't think that you're never neutral, really. Sorry, because or you are satisfied and comfortable and accomplished, or at least you feel this way, or you're nervous, tense, worried, sad. Now, the variations are tremendous, right? You can there's a little bit of sadness, there's a lot of sadness, and here we're not talking about somebody being worried for a few minutes or anxious of what's going to be. We're talking about somebody that his state of mind is eitzavon, atzvut, sadness.
The person is naturally like that.
It's a test. So that's a nisayon that HaKadosh Baruch Hu brought this person, to, and that he has to overcome it. Nachon. You have some people that they're by nature they're super happy, and others by nature they're always down. They're always negative. They're always sad. Nachon. That's a nisayon. That's a test. That's a test. Like any other test in life.
Rabbi, what triggers the nachat ruach that applies the
The
simcha, which brings
accomplishment.
refuah? Is it Torah?
So yeah. So like this. No, nachat ruach in a whole means like this. So when you have an idea, any idea, whether it's positive, negative, kosher, unkosher, doesn't matter, right? So that triggers, yes, a mechanism that idea, right, brings that is shoev, brings down a certain energy that is called ruach. It's a divine spirit that enters the person, and now that person and that ruach sits within the person and pushes the person, yes, to accomplish what it was brought down for, whatever it was brought down for. Nachat ruach is that once the person does what he did, his ruach appeases itself. Yes, that's nachat ruach. Now, says the Gaon that when you are excited or you are happy or you are looking forward to do a mitzvah, yes, so it brings down the ruach of mitzvah. Okay. Now, if it's brought down mitoch simcha, that ruach now is filled with simcha. The simcha of what? Of the accomplishment of the mitzvah that needs to be done. That's nachat ruach. Nachat ruach is when now the ruach of mitzvah, yes, that was filled with simcha because that's how it was brought down for, yes, was accomplished. By the way, that's mitzvah goreret mitzvah and avera goreret avera. Because now that there's nachat ruach, yes, you're set, or for another experience like this, yes, in positive or lo alenu the other way around. So that's what the pasuk here comes to say, that if you're ish, meaning you're a very high level individual, full of midot tovot, of mitzvot, that you're ish, ish Moshe, yes, you're a version of Moshe within you. You're ish, yes, filled with all the mitzvot and the Torah and the simcha of the mitzvot. So that koach, that infusion of ruach, yes, is what gives you now the ability to cure the body through that Or Hashem that resides within the body. Did I explain myself, Matan?
It's deep.
Avada, it's deep. What don't you understand? We'll say it over
No,
again.
My next question is, you said you go from mitzvah, go to mitzvah, go to avera. How do you break that? Meaning,
Put that aside. It's a good
okay.
point. Maybe I don't want to confuse you with that. But the mechanism, do you understand it? Yes, you have a thought. That thought brings a ruach. That ruach will push you to do what that ruach was brought down for. Now, when you have a thought that is positive, which is a sort of mitzvah that you want to do is mitzvah, and you're happy to do a mitzvah, you're excited to do a mitzvah, it brings you that ruach, and that ruach is filled by its essence of the simcha of the mitzvah. Yes, that or that power has the ability within the body to cure the body.
So the nachat ruach brings the refuah.
No. The nachat ruach is the state of mind that happens after the ruach has accomplished his mission. That's nachat ruach.
Simcha.
The simcha that you have inside the ruach that came with the ruach, yes, when you were happy or excited to do a mitzvah, that simcha that sits within, that is the definition of the essence of the ruach that came down, the ruach of mitzvah, is what has the ability to cure.
Mm-hmm.
Matan, you don't have a problem with that. You're good.
You understand? It's like let's say you have a light that comes in, and in that light you have particles that are called simcha. Oh, I'm so excited! I'm going to do this mitzvah, right? Oh, I want to do this mitzvah. Okay, great. You're excited to do the mitzvah, yes. You're excited to learn. You're excited to put tefillin. You're excited to do whatever. Yes, that brings down a ruach. That brings out a light, and in it there's a lot of millions of particles that's called simcha. Yes. Now it's inside your body. Those particles of simcha are treatment to the sicknesses of the body. Now, when you do it, when you do the action, yeah, you translate that potential into a reality. Now it becomes part of your body because you used it. Yes, that's the transfer of the simcha that is inside the ruach into the body, which cures the body. Good.
Rabbi, does it work for other stuff besides refuah? It sounds like no, it sounds like if Chas v'shalom someone is dealing with a challenge, but it doesn't have to be health.
1 minute. 1 minute to finish my shiur. 1 minute. I jump in. I'll send you a link. Huh?
Maybe someone is dealing with a challenge that's not health related. They're dealing with a business matter, but having the positive.
Maybe in the behavior. Yes,
Yeah.
you can have that as an aura in your behavior, but it's not with the same intensity that it is or the same concentration that it is when it's inside the body.
Uh-huh.
You understand?
So specifically for refuah.
It's more concentrated inside the body than it is emanating when it's outside of the body through an action.
So it's mamash for refuah. The school is for refuah.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible. Beautiful.
טוב, מחילה.
Thank you, Rabbi.
בשורות טובות.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.